On this week's GTA 5 o'clock, new jetpack evidence uncovered, some incredible pictures from our wildlife Snapmatic competition, and can Dan really fly through the D of the Vinewood sign? Find out right now on this week's GTA 5 o'clock. Hello and welcome to episode 72 of GTA 5 o'clock. I'm your host James Jarvis and I'm joined as ever by co-host Dan Dawkins.
Good day.
Good day to you, Dan. Now before we get on to the very exciting topic of the jetpack in GTA 5, let's just clear up something from last week. Dan, you can find a statue of a shark on a beach. Now, we did know this, didn't we, on Vespucci Beach,
well,
but we are idiots.
I don't know what idiot mumbled over it, but suffice to say, yes, lots of you corrected us. It was, in fact, a statue of a shark on a beach. We're sorry.
Yes, sorry about that. But let's move on to something a bit speculative from the world of GTA, and it is that the jetpack, or at least some code for the jetpack, has been found in one of the latest updates for GTA 5.
Yeah, now apparently contained within the code of the GTA 5 1.12 update that was applied quite recently. This was found by like 7sins, who's community member Chrome3. Apparently he's quite well respected. Now he's found by going through the assembly code, and this is stuff we've talked about previously, where people get the code, they've used debug machines to find all the various lines. There are lines of code that specifically refer to the jetpack. Now you can see that on screen. It'll probably make more sense than me reading it out, but it says stuff like P_SPA_jetpack, task_jetpack, and it says things like drive-by _jetpack, setting it so you can shoot from the jetpack just like the parachute. That's like classic San Andreas jetpack. We all know what we expect the jetpack to do. It is in line with all those things. Obviously the cast iron question is this true or another mega hoax? It also suggests that if there is a jetpack in the game, it's only been installed or certainly found now in this update. So maybe it's as if Rockstar finally buckled to what everyone has been searching for like 8 months.
Yeah, these are new lines of code, aren't they, really? They haven't been in there before, so it's weird that it's in there.
And there is a precedent for things being found in code and being like later discovered to be in GTA Online or the main game itself. There's even stuff in one of the original iFruit files that was decompiled and they found various stuff in it. But the question is it correct? James, what do we think, and what are like the smarter minds on GTA forums saying about it?
Well, this got discovered a few days ago, and even up to this point of recording now, which is on Wednesday, I think there is still debate over whether it is real or not. I think the code that has been displayed is in line with what you would see from a Rockstar update. It's written the same way, it's the kind of things you'd expect to be in there. The fact that the jetpack has appeared in there now either suggests that it's coming in a DLC update, or it's fake, or the other alternative is Rockstar know now that people go through these files and they decompile them and they look for every scrap of evidence they can find. There is a case to say that they have just put it in there to mess with people some more and go, hey look, we're just going to throw that in there and you haven't found it yet, but hey, maybe it's coming, just to keep the interest up.
Yeah, exactly, and that's whether, again, this is assuming this is definitely a real thing and not like a Photoshop fake, or, because a lot of people claim to have found it, but all linked to the same image, which is weird. Now, there's an interesting post from a guy called Carl69, and he says, I mentioned this, it's easier to fake this kind of thing, but he says, that was actual code, but rather data on a spreadsheet, anyone can fake that. He says, but what you simply cannot fake is disassembly from an executable. Now, this is quite techie stuff, but it might make sense. It says, it would be pointless to Photoshop the strings list from IDA Pro and even the machine code itself. There is proof in the first post this exists, and Chrome even gave the specific address for people to check. So that's Chrome, the guy who found this thing. It says to fake something of this scale would take an absurd amount of time and would most likely be noticeably fake. So this guy's really coming down on the side of this is a real thing. There are giveaway clues that would make this look verifiable. I think exactly like James says, I'm not smart enough for coding wise to say is this true, is this not. I've always felt there will or would be a jetpack at some stage. Rockstar definitely do everything deliberately. There's nothing left to accident. They know that people do decompile their code and search for clues like this. It's all part of the fun and the meta game of GTA 5. So I'd be amazed if at some stage in the fullness of time we do not get our apocryphal jetpack, and this may or may not be the first step to it. Another interesting point is that we are expecting quite imminently the High Life update. Now, this is part of Rockstar's spring content suite. Now, we've already had the Capture Creator update.
Yeah.
Now, we're expecting heists. Of course, we're expecting heists. That's been expected forever. But we're also expecting the High Life update. Now, that does add things like multiple properties, a mood indicator, and is quite well documented on the Rockstar Newswire site. But it doesn't obviously mention the jetpack. Now, another mention in the code refers to skis and skiing. Now, there is a logical line of argument to say that skis and skiing will be in line with living the high life, you know, living like in your beautiful Aspen home, skiing down, that kind of thing. It does make sense, but to say, you know, the high life as in literally high because you're in a jetpack might be a step too far. You know, we'll see, and that would be quite a huge moment in sort of GTA's content update history to bring in the jetpack and smuggle it in with something else. It would make more sense to me that if there's ever going to be a really solid spin-off, something pretty wacky, like let's say they go the full hog and go, yes, there's an alien invasion, yes, all this conspiracy stuff is true, yes, you can get a jetpack and you will fly and shoot aliens, that can really go the full amount. That would sort of make sense to launch a jetpack with that rather than sort of smuggle it within a content suite of other things, because this is a game-changing transport device that would certainly fundamentally affect the way people play GTA Online and probably turn it into some horrific sci-fi nightmare where you're being shot in the face from above from people zipping past. Could be, you know, it could be like a gameplay breaking disaster.
I mean, maybe that's why it hasn't happened for so long, because, you know, if you put the jetpack in online, you have to account for so many other probabilities of people flying it up in places that they're not meant to go and attacking people from behind and in the air, and it could essentially like break it, like more than the glitching is breaking it now. It could like be no fun at all.
Or it could be a really badass sort of Moonraker style, you know, groups of teams flying in each other in coloured jetpacks.
Yeah.
That would be really exciting. But I say it would make more sense to build it in as part of a coherent alien invasion or something other piece of DLC. As ever with Rockstar, they're quite opaque. We will see.
Yeah, so the High Life update comes this spring, which isn't far away now. We'll add in multiple properties. Whether it's more than that, we will have to wait and see. On to now, Dan, some new panoramic images that have come up. These are from Squiggly Gamers, and I thought it'd just be nice to look at these before we get on to our own Snapmatic competition. These are ground to sky Grand Theft Auto panoramic pictures, so they're vertical ones rather than horizontal ones, but you can see that they've actually got some really nice images of Blaine County and things like that by comping together long shots, and you get a good sense of scale of the city and things like that.
Yeah, I think they're wonderful. The ones at the Mile High Club really show off the scale. Like when you take these shots, usually it does sort of truncate a lot of the verticality of the game. Seeing them like this, it does really show like what a piece of architectural wonder, like the world that Aaron Garbett and his team have created. Yeah, really worth checking out. Well done, Squiggly Gamers.
Alright, so now on to our Snapmatic competition this week, and we've had loads of entries again. Thank you for sending them in. If you want to get involved in this, get in touch on Twitter at GTA O'Clock, on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GTA O'Clock, or you can post your links to this week's competition in the comments below. But for now, these are last week's submissions. We're going to go through 5. They're in no particular order apart from the first one, which is our number 1. So this is from Eros Picano, and it's of pigs, dead pigs, and a dead man at a rural farm. I like this.
Yeah, it looks more to me like a deleted scene from a Hannibal movie, so I'm not really sure this is the kind of wildlife I had in mind. So close, but no cigar.
On to a submission from Andrew. Now, this is more your thing, Dan. It's a nice city scene, maybe alfresco dining with a butterfly in the foreground.
Yeah, I guess, again, like as an individual frame, this is not that impressive, but the very notion is, I have captured a butterfly mid-flight, and in itself, that's quite an impressive feat of photography. So, hats off to you, Andrew Pascalis.
Nice. Now, Stew Boy has just gone and found us some chickens. It seemed to be out in like a backyard just wandering about. Definitely a wildlife shot, but not much else.
Yeah, it's not an awe-inspiring shot in and of itself, and it's a load of chickens, so yeah, no winner again.
Onto the Epic Wolf submission now. Dan, you were pretty impressed with this in terms of its framing and managing to get all 3 deer there together.
Yeah, I think there's an argument for this being the winner, and it's not the winner, but it came
it's an argument that you lost.
Damn close. Well, I just agreed with you. It came damn close. Because I think it's the feat of having all three side by side and sneaking up without interrupting them. I also think the lighting's quite stark, and so hey, you can debate amongst yourselves. This was almost the winner. It's a great frame shot, but the winner is
with a submission by Adam Taylor. Now he sent us quite a few in, but this one I think is his best work. You've got a beautiful lush green shot there next to a river of a deer eating some grass, and there's even some butterflies as well surrounding him.
Yeah, and what's more beautiful than a dirty brown river? So there it is. There's the beautiful dirty brown river being, looked after by wildlife. It's actually a really well framed shot. It's the sort of thing you'd expect to see in a sort of National Geographic, maybe a very poor week in National Geographic. But nevertheless, that's our winner. The big excitement is what's next week's theme.
Yes, and next week's theme, Dan, is
bling.
Bling?
It's bling. Now, that can be cars, it could be clothes, it could be the attitude, it could be a crew thing. It's just about showing off your bling, the way you've customised. Take it to the max. We want to see your wildest snaps on the theme of bling.
Alright, so get those competition entries into us at GTA VOclock on Twitter, facebook.com/GTA VOclock, or leave a link to your social club picture in the comments below, and we will compile them all together and see who is the winner for next week's show. Okay, now on to some crew stuff, and we've got our crew organiser Steve Stacey. He is at psnmadman on Twitter, and he's got some updates for us on how things are going to work and how things are going in the crew. So he is still looking for a UK-based Xbox 360 host to host some of our live events. At the moment, they all take place on PlayStation, but we'd love to get involved in the Xbox 360 side of things. So if you've got an Xbox 360 and you want to come and help us host some community events, get in touch with Steve and he will sort it out.
We should have a caption link in the about description which will describe to you what would be expected of you if you were to get involved. It's a nice short video. We'll explain what you need to do. Do check out that link.
So if you're interested in that, you can get in touch with him at psnmadman@yahoo.com. Just say why you think you're good for it and what kind of stuff you've got ideas for, and then he'll use that email address to get back in touch with you. We've also got an Australian Xbox 360 host who is doing some stuff over there. His first event is on Friday and will follow on from what the UK crew do. So hopefully we can get any of our Australian community or people who are up at that sort of time to join his game. That guy's Twitter handle is fans_2_GTA. We'll put a link in the description, but you can go and get in touch with him if you fancy joining any of those games. The crew event for this Friday is in honour of Rockstar Games as well. He's attached the information as you can see it on screen here. If you want to know more, you can get in touch with him over there. There's also a GTA subreddit in the description. So yeah, that's about it for the crew stuff. There does seem to be an issue with the main crew, where if you set it as your active crew, the RP for rising through the crew rank is stuck. We've currently got a conversation going with Rockstar support, so hopefully that will all be fixed in time for Friday's event. Right, Dan, on to your challenge. Now, this week, I have let you choose your own challenge because last week there was some debate over it just being thrown on you and you're a bit sad about that. So this week, Dan, which of these challenges that we've got written down are you going for?
Okay, I've been presented with like 4 or 5 challenges. One of them is from Ewan Crawford. He says, challenge Dan to knock off 50 motorbikers in 10 minutes. I was tempted by that, but I'm saying no.
Right.
Another one from Christian Van Ristel was drive down the opposite side of the motorway without crashing for as long as you can. I super like that one, but for the purposes of not having a 2-second video, I won't do it. Jack Sangakara says, climb Mount Chiliad with any vehicle under these 2 conditions. Now, I'll be quite honest, it's a bit complicated, so no. But, maybe we will, but that's a bit complicated for now. Another one from Only Knives and Tomahawks says, stab 20 ballers in a row, 10 life limit and death equals restart. I'm not feeling that violent today. What I want to do is something more poetic and framed. I'm going to go from the challenge from Guitar Jams fans. It says, Dan, you need to fly through the D in the Vinewood sign. It says, hint, the stunt plane fits the best. Now, in my mind, the D is huge and this is going to be really easy. In reality, and anyone who saw me do the bridge challenge might know this could be a tougher gig than I initially thought. But hey, let's get involved and see me fly through the D. DD goes through the D. in GTA V.
So here we are, Dan, at Trevor's Airfield, and you have chosen one of the smaller stunt planes on the advice of Guitar Jam's fan, who's saying that it fits the best. Don't know if he's saying it fits perfectly, but I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah, I thought I'd enter rage mode for no reason, okay? Or stealth.
It's going well so far.
I'll enter a different kind of rage mode in a minute.
Yeah, I expect you will.
Okay, so this will be easy. I'll get in this, just fly to the Vinewood sign. Bob's your uncle. And
go through the D.
I'll be looping through the D.
Okay, well that's not the best of starts, but that's okay. That's fine. It was, obviously, that first one was just a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to do like a pass first to get your angles right?
Yeah, I'm going to get an idea of how I'm going to approach it. I'm just going to blunder straight through. Through the D?
That's right. I mean, you could do the 2 O's afterwards if you wanted.
You have to go through sideways, right? Like that. I'm not going for it.
I thought it was a bit easy when I read it, but actually...
You thought it was a bit easy. In what universe was this a bit easy?
That is going to be tight.
Redonkulously tight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
I think you'll fit. Just not this time.
You think this has ever been done?
Little shout out for if you do have any other challenges you would like Dan to have a go at, please put them in the comments below or get in touch with us on the usual social channels and we will feature one of them next week. It's a beautiful city though, tonight.
Wonderful. Yeah, beautiful city tonight. Yeah, just scoping it out.
Just checking it out.
I'm reacting badly to pressure.
That's a bit high. What is it?
Oh my life, that was pretty close!
What do you feel is letting you down at the moment? The size of the plane, the approach route?
Yeah, all of those things. I just thought this would be fun. I mean, I'm still, again, we're going to see me do it this time, but... Codge, spludge, spludge.
Oh, well.
I don't think this is going to improve in a month of Sundays.
Fine.
Suffice to say, you can watch someone do it in the about description. You've seen me get close. I finally want to say, this is a completely left field thing, but it's going to deflect from my failure. I've just eaten a packet of crisps or chips, right? And one of them contained a dirty brown crisp that looks like a sort of sunburnt Pac-Man. Now I'm going to put him on Twitter later on, so watch out for the sunburnt Pac-Man on @GTAV o'clock. And this will explain a tweet you saw earlier the day and went, what the hell was that? The sunburnt Pac-Man.
Right, okay, well that's good bit of extra information for you guys who have stuck around to the end there. Thanks for watching this week's GTA 5 o'clock. We'll be back next week with more Challenge Dan and Snapmatic competition winners. If you'd like to play with us in GTA Online, get involved in one of the social club crews and join in to the event on Friday. But for now, we will say thanks for watching and goodbye.
Bye.